Hello everyone, and boy do I have something special for you guys today. Today we're going to be looking at a Centurion 7-1 game. A Centurion 7-1 game that turns into 12,000 damage. Well, 11.8 if you want to be specific. But this game, it demonstrates precisely why I always say pretty much that the L7 is superior to the 20 pounder. And I stand by that, and this gameplay will show you why the L7 is much superior, because the L7 is just a better all-round gun. Yeah, the 20 pounder has more DPM, but you know what? In this kind of situation, the 20 pounder could not compete, and you're going to see why. The L7 is just a fantastic gun. It's probably one of the best guns in the game, and in real life as well. I know it was a very successful gun, mounted on and licensed on several tanks, like the Leopard and such, and also some of the American tanks. But this game is just, oh god. See, when I was halfway through this game, I was just like, this cannot be happening. This is just, I'm just getting like ridiculous RNG, and it's just a beautiful game, and the enemy just sort of falls into my hands. The whole entire enemy team just sort of falls into my hands. I don't know idea what they're thinking. I mean, they have the better team. I mean, all you need to do is take a look at those teams lists. They have the better team. A much superior team in every bloody regard, because we, as you can see, the T-34 and myself, not being too cocky, but we're the only sort of good players on our team, and they have, okay, they don't really have, like, amazing players, but they have all-round good players, and I was kind of expecting them to win, and especially looking at the position in our team, because you look here, these guys are just clustered up and achieving nothing. This is a terrible spot. Do not go here ever. It's a terrible spot. If you're arty, yeah, go back there. You know, but honestly, don't bring a tank there ever. So we're sort of going up here. This is the typical sort of position I take my medium tanks on this map, and the reason why I take my medium tanks on this spot is because it offers really good flexibility. You pretty much, if you win this hill, you kind of win the game 9 times out of 10, especially on a counter, especially with the cap just down below to the right hand side. So we put a round into the side of Tiger 2's turret. Unfortunate bounce on the Yag Tiger. It looked like it might have hit his upper plate, but that still should have penned. And you see how the Centurion and the E50 are also over here. If I had spawned south, that's exactly where I would have went, because that position there is the perfect position to counter what I'm doing right now. But these guys are heavily distracted, and that just allows me to put shell after shell into them. I was just gobsmacked, and you'll see later on, my gun actually gets damaged about halfway through this game, and somehow the L7 just keeps its accuracy. This is a 2-skill crew right now. Obviously I have 6th sense, if you might have noticed earlier. Beautiful gun, the L7. It's probably the best tier 9 gun, straight up. It's probably the best tier 9 gun. Just because it's just so good. It is so good. This is a perfect position for the Centurion, because I can go hull down and use my pretty tough turret. So the KV4 is now spotted, and he's just sitting out in the open, and I just put shot after shot into these guys. So we spot the T-32. You notice how I could have shot the KV4 there, but I turned to kill the T-32, and the reason why I did that was because it's almost always better to eliminate enemy tanks. The way I see it is, it doesn't matter how many hit points an enemy tank has, it is always a threat if it's alive, and that's why I neutralized the T-32. A couple of unfortunate low rows, and also some nice high rows in this game, you'll see. Just a bit of RNG. It happens. Now we're up to 3k damage so far. That would be pretty respectful any sort of game. I think I'm actually going to submit this replay to the best replays of the week, the sort of competition that Wargaming sort of run. I think it stands a pretty good chance. So we're just going to put a shell right into the side of Jagdtiger. This kind of range, the Jagdtiger side armor is just butter. Just take out the Jagdtiger now. I don't know, but the Jagdtiger should never have pushed up over the ridge like that. He should have actually sort of see where the Centurion was last spotted. There would be the perfect position for him. So we spot the T-54 and put a round on his side. What the T-54 should have done here was come closer to the hill and not try and almost drive away. He should have actually got into the hill, so basically only his turret was exposing. But now you see that basically I have the gun depression to just make this work. I take a round, I believe, from the IS-3, who we just spot. I have no idea how he never got spotted before, considering that we are at about 100 meters distance from him. It should have been almost an instantaneous spot, though he is hiding behind a bush. So we get a pretty low roll there on the IS-3, but we just shoot it through his left hand side of his upper plate, which is pretty much nothing to this gun. So we're sitting at 5.7k damage at the minute. Get another spot off on the IS-3. Unfortunate bounce there, but I think the round might have went to the left of his upper plate, which obviously at that sort of angle it would be much more effective. Also, maybe it was just RNG. We put a round into the side of the IS-6. He actually ammo wrecks us there. Luckily, I have a repair crew on my Centurion, as you always should do. You should always have a repair crew on your mediums and heavies, and your TDs as well. But that's sort of situational. It depends on the TD. So we just put a round for the upper plate, and I believe it was the 704 who just killed the IS-6. So we put a round through his upper plate again. Again, no problem with this gun, especially with the angle he was angling at. He did a pretty poor job of angling. Very unfortunate bounce there. That should have panned. So we just put a round into the IS-3 roof, which is also a pretty well-known weak spot. You can pretty much easily overmatch the armor in the IS-3 turret. The roof, I mean. So we just take out the Tiger 2. Again, this is just really casual at this point because this fight's in my hands. I have the control of this fight. The IS-3 can't do anything. The enemy team can pretty much do nothing at this stage. I'm in the position. I'm in the power position. I control this fight, not them. And I'm just abusing my turret armor right now because the Centurion 7-1 turret is actually pretty strong. Though you can, if you're kind of not careful, and if the enemy's actually pretty smart, see the little roof bit there that sort of angles? You can get penned there. It's not overly all too weak. You can't get overmatched there a lot, but you definitely can take rounds there pretty easily. And you need to be careful, because if someone is pretty smart and intelligent, they will go for that spot if you're held on like that. I think we also... Oh, okay, but I don't know why the 5100 done that. He should never have done that. And you see how we load a Hesh shell there? And because he's on so low HP, we just simply... It doesn't matter where we hit him, it's going to kill him either way. That's the kind of situation I would use Hesh shells for. Hesh shells are overall pretty useless. There's a few circumstances where they are actually of use, but for the most part, they're kind of useless. I believe, my personal opinion on Hesh is, I kind of think the mechanics need to be reworked, almost, because the mechanics aren't really great, and it doesn't really express the true behaviour of Hesh shells in real life. I mean, the Hesh shells penetration, what are they? Yeah, they're 210 average. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, like things like Batchats and French tanks and the German TD line, you can definitely do a lot of damage to those guys. And see how our gun is damaged, but we still managed to pen his upper plate. Again, upper plate again. It's no problem for the L7 at this range. He's not really angled, and he is, believe it or not, but the Tiger 2's firing HE I don't know why. Obviously, he's not the best player, but I mean, basics, guys. I mean, that's just Wargaming's fault. That's why we have so many bad players in this game. It's truly Wargaming's fault. Wargaming does a poor job of explaining mechanics to players. I mean, the tutorial in this game, you know, where everyone really starts off with, it's pretty fucking shit, to be honest with you. It doesn't really explain anything. It explains basics like, you know, obviously the armor's tougher at the front, you know, and stuff like that, and basic driving. But anything like other than that, it really does a good job. It doesn't explain ammo types. It doesn't explain gun depression. And another thing as well I would like to see overhauled in World of Tanks is the actual in-game statistics. I believe they're really crap, to be honest with you. They don't show true statistics. So I angle my armor there just in the last second, just in case he was firing AP, and he just blows off our tracks and does a little bit of damage to us. Surprisingly lucky RNG shooting this side at T-34 there, as you might have noticed, especially with a damaged gun. So we try a pop shot at the Tiger 2, but I really need to hit his cheeks at that kind of range, and it's probably not going to happen with a damaged gun. So at this stage I pull back. I'm taking unnecessary fire. There's no point staying there. I'm doing nothing. The Tiger 2's hull down. But as I was saying, I believe the in-game statistics need overhaul. For example, the armor statistics are nothing but useless. For example, they may display a figure of like 150mm on the turret, but it's only 150mm at a specific point on the turret. It's not overall. And yeah, there's very useful tools like Tank Inspector and various other tools like that, and I use those tools myself, especially for the tank reviews. But I think the in-game statistics need to be improved a lot. Also things like view range as well. That's another example of statistics that are not true in the in-game garage. Usually we put our round into the T-34. Even with a damaged gun, the L7 is just fantastic. We just take out the 5100 there. Get spotted again. But as I was saying, the in-game statistics for view range are also pretty crap. They don't really explain any actual statistics. Now, XVM has a beta of statistics for the in-game garage on view range at the minute, and they work pretty well from what I've seen. And it will actually show you your actual view range. It'll take into things like you know, binos and stuff, and you'll see there at the bottom we actually have, see where it says view range 429 meters. That's XVM doing that. That's telling me what my actual view range is. And if you have binos equipped to your tank, it'll also display the figure for whenever your binos are activated, which I think is fantastic. And I think Wargaming should really take up on that, because the in-game statistics are pretty crap, as I say. I also think the Wargaming's minimap needs to do things like displaying tank names on the map. I mean, come on guys, it's basic things like that. And I also think this view range thing as well also needs to be implemented. See, the Tiger 2 takes a shot at us. We also take a shot at him, but we don't really hit him. Just to be expected, we have a damaged gun. Maybe the L7, but you know, it's a damaged gun nonetheless. And you're going to see here, strangely enough, the Tiger 2's firing AP now. I mean, oh, we get a nice wee engine fire there. Take him out. So we're at 11 well, we're at 11.1k at the minute, but it's 11.8 because some of the blind shots actually hit. At this stage, we're almost capped, and yes, I really did just bounce off the side of the 704 for which would have been my Radley. So yeah, you get a bit of RNG at the end, but with a damaged gun, it's to be expected. I hope you've really enjoyed this gameplay. I love playing this. My hands were shaking almost at points in this game, because I just could not believe the damage that I was getting in this. Bit of luck as well involved in this here. You know, you just have to have, your team has to be bad, but not so bad where they can't, you know, hold their own. And the enemy team needs to be, sorry, excuse me, I'm burping. The enemy team needs to be bad as well, but not bad to the point where, you know, your team kills them all. That's what I'm trying to say. And this, I just got really lucky. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I absolutely love making these videos, as I say often. So hopefully you check out my other content, and I'll probably have I was actually meant to do a Panther 2 review, but because of this video I kind of scrapped this. So scrap that. So I might do that next week. Hopefully you'll subscribe and, you know, like and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Now let's take a look at the report screen. As you can see, we pick up a mastery. I already had my mastery before. A massive amount of credits, 140,000 credits. That's a lot of credits. 3,900 experience, and this is not a double either. This is just a normal game. Pick up the steel wall, top gun, high caliber, defender, Confederate. Let's take a look at the actual damage overall. You can see we do 11.8k damage with 7 kills and 2,115 base experience. That is truly incredible. Just an absolute beast of a game. That is my best game ever. The previous best game I had was like 9k damage. So this definitely beats that by a margin. And so we take home 63,000 credits, which isn't too bad considering the ammo costs were the main real reason. We obviously had that one HESH shell as well. So overall, great game. Look at, we actually took 800 free experience from that as well. Incredible, incredible. I hope you enjoy watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next couple of days probably.